Morning, everyone. Hopefully, you guys on Teams can also hear me. Thanks for the opportunity to talk. I'm here on behalf of Project ACCoRD, a community for contract regulation in data, and I'm here with some of my team. We'll introduce them later on, and I guess, the scope of the project and the thing that we're trying to address is the precursor to a lot of things we've seen earlier on, in that we've talked a lot about moving data around between places, but to do that, you've got to first get hold of the data and have permission to move it around. So we're looking at the contracting aspect of that. So project leads myself and Michelle, who's over there, and we've got Raheel, Katie, and James, and then partnering with Edina and the Research Data Alliance and the Geographic Data Service. As I was sort of just hinting at, data contract defines how data is stored, managed, transferred. We've talked a lot about transfer in previous talks, and used. And by working with stakeholders, and we'll talk a little bit in a few minutes about who those stakeholders actually are, we're hoping to identify the challenges and also best practices, and to create solutions to unblock access to data across UK and across the DRI. This is survey number, I'm going to say 8, because somebody in the previous talk said 7. In your experience, so this is a bit of a Slido, just to make it a bit active because we're coming towards lunch on day 2. In your experience, what is the average time in weeks for a research data contract to be signed? You can take a Slido of that and just give us a little bit of a view. Somebody's already said 10 weeks or more, which kind of illustrates the problem. This is from the first draft of the contract to, yes, I can access the data now, I'm happy. So those of you who work with research data and research data contracts, you might have a view on this, and the results appear as you vote. It's quite possible that the people in this room don't necessarily have the experience to answer this question because it's outside what you do, and that's actually not a bad thing. So we'll talk about who our target audience is in a second. So just give you a few minutes, those people online as well, to just give us a thought and an answer to this. We've 12, 13 responses, 14. You can see the counter at the top on the right. Most people are saying 10 weeks or more, which in terms of even I suppose in terms of a 3-year research project is quite a chunk of the research time before you can actually even think about starting to move the data to where you need it, or start doing any analysis, or start getting hold of any of that data. So, okay. Just to give you an idea of what the problem is that we're trying to address. I wasn't expecting such a strong 10 weeks or more. That's actually reinforces the need for what we're doing. So contracting delays can have a serious impact on research. We have anecdotal evidence that there are some contracts that take up to a year to get signatures. I'm seeing Jeremy going even longer. That's excellent, or not. And it's, in a sense, as a researcher, you're sitting there then twiddling your thumbs. Time is elapsing, deliverables are turning up. You can't do what you want to do on the project. There's a lot of time spent exchanging contracts and ideas. Complex terminology may be an issue. Multiple stakeholders with different disciplinary backgrounds and expertise and data understanding. And also then the need to ensure compliance. So does my contract actually allow me to move the data from service A to service B in the first place? What are the other factors? That's one of the things that we're actually going to explore in ACCoRD. So we have 2 aims as a project: to deliver the evidence and the roadmap to standardize and improve research data contracting. And what are the factors causing problems? Equally, I've heard some examples just sort of as part of this project of best practice. There are some contracts that are quick to sign. There are some universities apparently that have really good expertise and turn these things around really, really quickly. So what is the best practice? What are the problems? What are the opportunities for standardization as part of a federated system? And then the other thing we're going to, between quotes, deliver, because communities are people, so you don't deliver people, but people who are engaged and interested and keen to take this work forward and actually take this work into a framework. Within the 1 year or less of this project, we don't have time to build the framework, but we will bring together the people who have an interest and have a expertise to take the framework forward. So how are we going to do this? Guess what? We've got a survey. It's ready, it's launched, it's gone, it's got ethics approval. The important thing to know here is the ask of what we're asking you is, as we've seen even from the Slido response, many people in this room will not have the expertise to answer surveys that go into research data contracting. If you're not the people who are crossing the I's and dotting the T's and deciding whether it's an or an and in a clause, then maybe you're not the target. This is quite helpful for us as well, because it means we're not maybe overlapping. What our ask is of you is to take those flyers from the table, hand them to your contracts experts, hand them to the people who are signing these things, hand them to the people who are negotiating the terms, and ask them to participate in our work. The more broad evidence we're able to gather through the project, the better off the final proposal, the final evidence base is going to be. So we've got a survey. We've also got a kickoff workshop, and again, you've got the QR code for that. But again, the target audience is people in contracting and research data contracts. So you might have a legal team in your institution. You might have a contracts team. Those are the people we're very interested in. 22nd of October in London. So it's an afternoon in-person workshop as a kickoff. We're also doing 4 supplementary or 4 follow-on workshops, the topics of which will emerge from the survey and the first workshop. And that will be a mix of in-person around the country and also online to maximize participation. And other community building activities, for example, interviews and engagement in other ways, and maybe engagement in where the legal teams are having their events was a great suggestion we had yesterday as well. So how you can help: ask your colleagues to complete our questionnaire and participate in the first workshop. If you have the capacity, the interest, the knowledge to participate yourself, fantastic, wonderful. I can certainly see there are touch points with some of the other projects that we certainly should explore as well. But we are literally talking about the people who are in the contracts negotiation part of your organization that we're really interested in engaging with. And you and others can sign up to join the ACCoRD community, which will take forward till August of next year, which will then be handed back to the Network Plus for the future federated contract framework development as well. Thank you very much.